Fujimoto is cooking. Like he really do be cooking though, literally. My brothers, the apocalyptic end is nigh with Chainsawman Part 2. From Nostradamus' prophecy, in the 7th month of 1999, a great king of terror will descend. The devils are finally making their move. And it's really good to be back talking about some Chainsawman because things are really getting freaking good, man. Last chapter we saw the king of terror prophecy and that Yoshida and his secret organization are on to Fami and their plans, on to something cataclysmic, something so big that perhaps the Public Safety Bureau and Yoshida's Illuminati type organization need answers from the famine devil herself. In the Bureau's testing, they took 30 convicts and made them contract with the future devil, and 23 of the convicts were set to die July 1999, and the remaining were to die this week. So the future rules indeed. To prepare for such a catastrophe, when the king descends on this realm, Fami talks about the first of the devils to shepherd the world toward ultimate terror. She, a primal devil, has been sent forth as an introduction to this terror, leading us to chapter 123, Our Devoir. Of course, seeing the hype from the recent chapters and the death taking place with Asa at the apartments, many fans assumed this primal fear was something like the death devil, the suicide devil, something like that. But this is actually something far worse, because even these transcendent immortal beings are assumedly under some kind of king of terror. And today's fear is merely something like a prophet, as Asa has encountered a foe far too much for them. And also, you know, it really does pay not to be in the main shonen clique. That not safe for work design is glorious, I might add. However, this primal devil is a lot worse than a lot of us could have imagined because it really holds the power of a very concept. Today, Asa was met with the oddly horrifying abomination that calls herself the Falling Devil. When it manifests, she remarks being indecent as she's naked, and then she dresses herself like a French cook. You can tell this is an omnipotent godlike entity. However, she clearly is at the service of someone else, the service of the residents of hell. And symbolically, they are portrayed as a chef. But one thing is uncertain. What is she cooking? As the devil presents itself, Asa seems to have been affected by this devil's power and is sort of resonating in the negative feelings that Asa harbors. The devil names its first dish as an appetizer, her La Route Von La, clapping her hands and sending Asa into a memory of the past. Yeah guys, this is the real deal, the first of the transcendent, delving into the negativity of the mind. As we dive into Asa's memory, we then see just the type of fear this chef is cooking. Asa is now at an orphanage with other children after the disaster struck when her mother died to the typhoon devil. We see a well-meaning caretaker, and she has a one-to-one with Asa to kind of talk with her about how Asa is coping with her mother's death and Asa's relationship with the cat. The caretaker wants Asa to let go of the cat because one of the kids is allergic, but really because it's just not good for Asa to rely on a cat's love and companionship. Everyone there is an orphan whose parents were killed by devils, yet they can still laugh and play because they have found something here, a home, a family. So she then says even the cat would be happier with other cats if she gave it away. So after giving it some thought, Asa tells her the cat's name, Crambon, but things seem to be alright. Happy even, the sort of comfort you get when you rely on a friend's counsel. So later that night, another kid wakes Asa up, mentioning that they saw a cat like Asa's at the bottom of a river they were at. When asking the caretaker about what happened, dread fills the air as she looks at Asa with dead, dark eyes and says, "Everyone lost their family. You can't be the only one with a family member. Isn't it unfair?" And damn, what a terrible individual, and such a sinking feeling knowing that that last remnant of her mother was killed by something so petty and stupid. No wonder Asa has such a hard time connecting with people today. Asa is falling, and that is the devil's core concept. Falling in your dreams, falling in life, falling in death. This is the call of the void, and this chef cooks up despair. And what an insane freaking power the concept of being pulled into despair. And you know, with Asa's dream, that cat meant more than just a pet. Her mother died for that cat because of Asa, and that resentment from another human took away that small piece of her mother. No wonder Asa is so messed up, and today a strange phenomenon happened. We see the insane paneling of Fujimoto as Asa wakes up from this nightmare, and all around the city, those afflicted by this devil are falling into the sky. The lower the heart sinks, the higher the body falls. That's the concept of the dish. May the flavor of the past traumas delight your taste buds. We even see reoccurring themes with the door to hell, and some people are even falling through. How ironic it is that people are rising into hell. Fujimoto really captures the esoteric feeling and themes of the great beyond like no other. Ending the chapter, Asa is now in a terrified state, and because of how Asa reacts, Yoru cannot enter her fear-stricken body. Wow, just wow, what an amazing chapter with themes far worse than what could have even been imagined. Just to conclude with a couple things, this primal devil seems to be some kind of servant for a higher power, likely the king of fear. Some speculate Death is like the leader of the horsemen, which would be very cool and fitting, but seeing as this primal fear is like a forthcoming calamity, I think fear is a concept that is likely stronger than death. It's a hard thing to grasp though, because fear is a concept based on these other concepts, and most fears stem from the likelihood of death. So I just wonder, who is the king of fear, and what part does the death devil have to play? The falling devil though, Fujimoto absolutely cooked. Chef kiss, bon appetit. I love the evil chef thing that he has going on. The girl is cooking up despair, and those who feel the call of the void will fall. I understand it's like a similar sort of thing to something like, you know, suicide, but the concept of wondering what will happen if you just let yourself go is something that everyone battles. And of course, falling in general is something that is feared. It's an interesting concept. I think it may even affect someone like Denji to relive his past traumas, which would kind of shift to a darker tone in the series, as the Denji stuff has kind of been more lighthearted as of late. Imagine something like a Makima manipulation flashback, or a flashback to when Denji killed his dad. There's some heavy stuff that Fujimoto could really touch on. What's more intriguing is there seems to be this invasion planned involving the primal fears and this beginning of the end. Imagine the descension of hell on earth and the emergence of the king of fear. I'm afraid this calamity might be too much even for our cast. True transcendent devils do not die, and this upcoming possible, you know, quote unquote war is going to be huge. We could even have another hell-focused arc giving us lore and context on how these things operate. And you bet Yoru, Asa, Denji, and Neyuta will just be smack dead in the middle of this mess. That's about it for this chapter though. Chainsawman just introduces the most wild and crazy things in a way that is so unique that really shows Fujimoto's creativity. Character design is on point, horror is on point, story is on point. Few authors are really doing it like Fujigoto, the man, the myth, the legend. But please share down below just what our mans is gonna cook up next. But you guys take care. This has been Enemy Stand User, and I'll see you awesome brothers in the next one. Bye bye.